Angelo Dipippo of Garden City, a longtime arranger, is beginning to make his mark as a performer in the music world. Here's a listen to the title song from his new album, Arthur Street. And joining us now is Angelo Dipippo, and I must say, a rather excited Angelo Dipippo. There's a new Billboard review out of this album, and they like it. They like it a lot.
It's been out for 2 months, and it's really taken off, thank God. It's gotten a lot of play. It's on the Gavin chart. I don't know if it's selling, but it's gotten an awful lot of all good reviews and a lot of play, a lot of radio play.
And the Gavin chart, for those who are not jazz enthusiasts, is?
It's the weekly report of the amount of plays that a record gets. So now mine came in at 60th this week. So considering what it is, it's an offbeat record. It's doing very well.
Offbeat, a jazz accordion. How did that ever happen?
30 years ago when I was young, I had a jazz group and we did a lot of things. There were several good jazz players then, and it was very accepted. When the guitar came in, the accordion was phased out. They thought it was a corny instrument and it was an ethnic thing and it had certain corny connotation, so the kids didn't play it at all. But in those days, there were many good accordion players, jazz players. Now, suddenly, the rock groups are using it. Bruce Springsteen is using an accordion, Paul Simon, a lot of them use the accordion. So it's getting some kind of attention, so I felt that this is the time for me to get back into it. So we did the record.
Now, you used to play at Newport, some of the big jazz stops, but then you got into arranging, and we're talking some big-time people you worked for. Can you want to mention a few of them?
Well, I make my living as an arranger. I've been with Robert Merrill for 18 years. I've worked with Roberta Peters. I've worked with Billy Eckstein. I've worked with a lot of people. And I make my living as a writer, but I practice every single night.
So why at this stage of the game have you decided, okay, instead of arranging for everybody else, I'm going to grab my accordion and start recording?
There's a fellow who lives in Garden City named Bugs Bauer. He's the producer of the album. He suddenly said, now is the time to do it. He's very commercial-minded. He thinks of ways to make money. So he said, now is the time to do a jazz album. So we contacted Ben Rizzi, who also lives in Garden City, and he has a studio called Kaufman Astoria. It's a wonderful studio. And so we went into his studio, and we got a fellow named Jerry Wolf, also from Long Island, wrote a couple of tunes, and I practiced with the group, and we picked the instrumentation, and we did the album.
Is there anyone on this album who is not from Long Island?
Gee, I don't know.
I never really thought of Long Island as being a hotbed of jazz. That oftentimes you think of that as being more of an inner city form of music.
No, there are a whole flock of great players on the island. There's one great group that's run by a girl named Ann Sneed called the International Art of Jazz, and so many island players belong to it. There are a ton of jazz players.
Now, you're not out of the arranging business yet, are you?
No. I make my living arranging. That's what I do. That's what I do. Last weekend I did a concert in Orlando with Roberta Peters and Robert Merrill. It was wonderful. It's music, whether you're playing, as long as it's good music. It's good jazz and good classical music. It's good. I love music, but I'm an arranger.
I thought I saw something that you were doing a Christmas album coming up.
I did an album for Debbie Reynolds and Don Locarno 2 weeks ago, which has just been released. But it's an assignment, and you do it. And
this is a rather interesting group of people you have worked with, different ends of the musical spectrum.
Yes.
Debbie Reynolds on one hand, and
it's a job.
Van Morrison that I see on it.
I've worked with them all, but it's an assignment, and you do it well. The idea is to do the job well, regardless of whether she's a jazz. She's just a good performer, and we did the job, and it's a good job.
Okay, Angelo Dipippo is the name. The current album, current one for first in a long time.
Arthur Street.
Arthur Street.
Which is a street in Garden City, by the way.
Okay, I was going to ask you about that, where that came from. Thank you very much, and best of luck to you on your new endeavor.
Thank you very much, Joe.
Okay.
Thank you.
Back to you, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.